drill is find a comfortable seat. If you want to stay laying down, that's fine. All right, but if you can come into an easy seat, that would be great to get started, and we'll get ourselves centered and ready to go. You may notice I have the new I Bend So I Don't Break shirt on. Yay, very exciting. And we have some friends in the studio too here tonight. So go ahead and get comfortable. As I said, close those eyes, start to bring your awareness to your breath. Check it in. Maybe you've had a real busy day today and didn't have much opportunity to spend some time with yourself. So tonight in yoga class, you'll have a chance to do that. Deepening your breath. Filling up as you inhale. Emptying out as you exhale. Allowing your abdomen to expand on your inhale. And as you exhale, gently draw your navel in towards your spine. Knit those lower ribs especially in, but then release it on that next inhale. And practice this for a few more rounds. Tuning into your core, tuning into your third chakra, which is the solar plexus chakra. This is our power center, energetically, spiritually, and even physically. So on many levels. And so appropriately tonight, we're going to be really tuning into this area and working on potentially getting a little upside down, working on handstands tonight. But we'll do some drills and little practice things to kind of help you bring more awareness to this particular asana, the handstand, which is actually called downward facing tree pose, technically, the Sanskrit translation. Adho Mukha Vrikshasana, downward facing tree pose. And so it's a good time to change things up a little bit, build a little more energy in the body. And then of course we'll balance it out by settling in at the end of our practice. So if you're still doing that deep breathing, go ahead and let that go. Let your breath take its natural course. And then let's bring our hands together in front of our hearts, setting an intention for your practice. I'd like to just share a little short mantra with you, and that is energy flows where attention goes. Energy flows where attention goes. So be mindful of what you are focusing on. And then gently blinking open your eyes, releasing your hands. All right, so we're going to make our way up to standing. So make your way into mountain pose. And ground down through your feet. You can rock back and forth between your heels and your toes. And shift your weight side to side. Maybe do a little circular motion with your hips. And then go the other other way. Just kind of play around a little bit. And then find that middle ground. You can lift heel up here, heel up there, toes up here, toes up there. And then go ahead and extend those arms down towards the earth. Take a breath in, let the belly expand as you inhale. And as you exhale, draw the abdominals in towards the spine, knit those lower ribs down. Drop the tailbone down a little bit and isometrically move your inner thighs in towards each other and press back slightly. And then let's inhale, just reach the arms up overhead. You can have your palms facing in towards one another. And if you've lost that core connection, drawing those abs in and knitting the front ribs in, go ahead and bring that back into place. And then if you'd like, turn your palms so that they're facing up, your wrists bend. Squeeze your arms in towards each other without literally pulling them into your head. So just energetically or isometrically create that action. Notice how things feel here. So if you're feeling any sort of shoulder discomfort, that may be a sign that bearing weight on your hands upside down might not be the best way to go. Because here we're not bearing weight on the shoulders, right? And if you are bearing weight, that'll just make it harder and potentially hurt it. So just be mindful of that. And then bring those arms down by your side. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And then take a little side bend. Drop your left hand down. Reach up through the right arm, creating that space and that length. Switching sides. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, right arm down. Reaching those hands in opposition. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring them down by your side. Inhale, sweep the arms up again. And then exhale, we're going to come to chair pose. Bend your knees, pressing your hips back, bringing those arms out in front. Draw your belly in towards your spine. Drop the tailbone down a little bit. So that may feel like a micro tuck. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold your body over your legs. And you can keep your knees bent here. In fact, I recommend that you keep your knees bent, even if you can straighten your legs. Let your torso hang heavy on your legs. Relax your arms. Let the abdomen soften here. And then we're going to plant our hands and come to all fours. So bringing yourself down to tabletop. We can't avoid tabletop in my class, sorry. It's like, it's an occurrence we do all the time. All right, so I want you to do the same action. Take a breath in, let the belly expand. And then as you exhale, draw the abdominals in towards the spine and knit those front ribs in. Keep that foundation as you move into a spinal balance. Right arm, left leg, inhale. So opposite arm and leg, right arm, I'm sorry, left arm, right leg. I might have said that wrong. Lower down, sorry. Switch, you know what, it doesn't really matter. Just pick a side. All right, exhale, lower down. Switching sides. So when we lift and lengthen, we have a tendency to arch the back. So I want you to avoid that. Keep the spine neutral. Lower down. So lots of concentration, but let's focus on creating this stable movement pattern as we go from side to side. You'll get six-pack abs just doing this. So finish out one more. And then make your way back to that all fours position. Checking out your hands. Spread your fingers a good amount. And look at your wrist crease. Ideally, the crease of your wrist should line up with the top edge of your mat. So we want to avoid turning the hands out too much or turning them in. Okay, so just work on that. And then root down through all 10 fingers. And then also put a little more weight towards the base knuckle of your finger and your thumb, creating that Hasta Bandha. It almost feels like you've got suction cups happening in the hand itself. So work on that. And then energetically, also known as isometrically, draw your forearms towards each other. You'll feel some action occurring there. Try and maintain that. Curl your toes under and lift your knees up off the mat a little bit. Take a breath in. And then exhale, round your back, draw the navel to the spine. Inhale, release back to neutral. Exhale, round. So repeat this a few more times. Inhale, release. Exhale, round. Couple more. Go for one more here. All right, and then slowly lower down. And you can release back to a child's pose here and let your arms be relaxed. There's so many elements to inversions and really every yoga pose, but we're focusing on that tonight. So you have to have a strong core, strong shoulders, flexible wrists, right? Strong upper body. Flexible legs, believe it or not, especially hamstrings. All those things come into play when we work on certain inversions, particularly handstand. All right, on your next inhale, go ahead and roll yourself up. Make your way to seated, and then we're going to roll onto our backs briefly here. Rolling onto our backs briefly here. So literally we could work on all sorts of drills and things to work on handstands. It could be a 2-hour workshop. I've done it before. So tonight we can't do it all, but we're just going to do some things. Even if you don't do a handstand, you're going to benefit. So take a breath in, let the belly expand. As you exhale, draw your abdominals in towards your spine and knit those front ribs in a little bit. Inhale, lift your right leg up and then lower it down. And then switch, bring your left leg up and lower it down. Alternate just a couple more here. Good. All right. Now let's draw the knees into the chest. Draw your knees into your chest. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, pull the belly in. Lift your shoulders and your head up. Your knees are pointing, your nose is pointing to your knees. You're going to extend your left leg out, hovered over the floor, and extend your right leg up. Take your arms by your side and let them hover over the floor. So not on the ground. Take a breath in. As you exhale, switch your legs. Take a breath in. Exhale, switch. So continue with this. Keep curling the spine, right? Just like a cat stretch. Draw the belly in. I'm not going to do like the Pilates 100. So just let those hands hover. Really focus on lifting from your center. If your neck starts to feel fatigued, you're overusing it. And that's okay. You just have to wake those abs up. So let the head rest and really focus. Let the head rest down on the ground and really focus on pulling those abs in. Just a few more. Exhale each time a leg comes up and a leg goes down. All right, last one. Gently lower the head, draw your knees to your chest, give yourself a little hug. Then bring your arms down, feet to the ground. Gently rotate your head side to side. Take your time. And then come back to the center, draw your knees to your chest, cross your ankles, rock and roll up to seated. All right, let's make our way to a down dog. So creating that Hasta Bandha with the hands. Check out your wrists, check out the crease of the wrist, the fingers, and then extend those legs up. Feel free pedaling out those heels, moving around any way that feels right for you. Remember to let your head hang heavy. Keep breathing. And then find stillness in the toes. Pressing both heels down, rooting down through the hands and the fingers, allowing the belly to soften and let it sort of just draw back in towards the spine. And then let's inhale, come up onto the toes, lift the hips higher, stretch out through those arms, tiptoe your way up and try to stay on your tiptoes for as long as you can. As you make your way up, and then slowly float those heels down. Relax in ragdoll pose. Soften. Feel free to move around a little bit if that works for you. Good. Release your elbows if you were holding on to them. Bend your knees and let's inhale and roll up. So let the hands just dangle, let the arms dangle. Draw the tailbone under here. Be careful. It's safer to do it with bent knees so you don't strain that back. Although most of us, if you do yoga regularly, probably have a really strong lower back. But anyway, let's inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your plank and lower down. Now I would just do a cobra to start because we really haven't been doing any sort of back bending yet. Inhale, lift the heart. And then exhale your way back to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here as you root down through your heels and press your inner thighs back to the wall behind you. One more breath, one more breath. Good, and then if you like that tiptoe action, lift those heels up, lift the hips up, and then walk those feet up to the top of your mat. See if you can hang there just for a moment in those tiptoes, and then float the heels down, relax the upper body down, and then let's inhale, reverse swan dive this time, reaching the arms up overhead, exhaling to mountain pose. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, plant your hands, step it back, flow through. Good, making your way back to that downward facing dog. Couple deep breaths here. Good, and then go ahead and bring those feet up to the top of the mat any way you want. Inhale, come into a half lift, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reach the arms up. Exhale to Tadasana. Inhale, bending our knees, chair pose. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, make your way back, flow it through. Inhale, lift your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, bring that foot to the top of the mat and rise up to warrior one. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Stay here for a couple breaths. Draw a full breath in here. Exhale, float the hands down. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift those hips. Switching legs. Inhale, the left leg high. Exhale, bring it to the top of the mat. Rise up. Warrior one on the other side. Find your focal point. Remember your intention. Connect to your breath. Deep breath in. Exhale, float the hands down, stepping it back, flowing it through. Allow that head to hang heavy. In fact, you can gently rotate it right to left to right. Just to remind you to leave the tension out of the neck area. Resting in the center, bring your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhaling to your half lift when you get there. Nice long spine, belly draws in. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, inhale, rise up to chair. Good, stand tall in mountain pose, reset. Inhale, back to chair. Exhale, dive down. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, plant your hands. You can step or jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana, yogi's choice there. Flow it through. Back to warrior one. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, bring the foot to the top of the mat. Inhale as you rise up. Nice. Good, just one breath this time. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, Chaturanga or lower all the way down. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift those hips. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bring the foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Inhale as you rise up. Settle the shoulders down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands come down. Once again, we step it back. Flow it through. Feeling that energy moving in the body, feeling that warmth. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Good. And then go ahead and bring those feet to the top of the mat. Inhaling to your half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over those legs. See if you can get a little deeper into that forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, rise up to chair. Utkatasana. Good. Stand tall in your mountain pose, Tadasana. Okay. If you need a drink, grab it. Need to catch a breath, grab it. We're coming back as we move into our first sequence. Yes. So that was a little energy. Little energy there. That's good. So when you're ready, bring it back to mountain. And let's inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan back down. Step back just to a down dog. All right. So for my friends at home, I know that some of you have limited room, but I want, even if you do a little bit of this, a couple spaces, a couple steps, you'll be fine. If you've ever taken Brandy's yod class, you know what bear crawls are. I'm not going to have you do it in a circle though. Just going to go forward and back a few times. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you're at home and you don't know what I'm talking about, come to all fours for a second so you can see. Now I'm turning sideways just so you can get a better picture of it. But you're going to do this on your mat. And if you know where I'm going, make room if you can. You're in a down dog, okay? You're going to maintain the down dog shape as you walk forward and backward. So I'm going to try for 4, okay? Forward and backward. Okay, really stay strong through those hands. Remember your Hasta Bandha. Okay, that's all we're going to do to start. If it's not working for you, hanging down dog, do some spinal balance. That would actually be good because you got the opposite arm and leg action happening. Okay, are we ready? Notice who left the room. We'll do it on the other side. We'll get them. All right. So make your way to down dog. This is the first part of the sequence, okay? Here we go. So remember your foundation, hands, feet, belly draws in. Start to walk it forward. See if you can go about 3 or 4 steps. And then start to walk it backward. You're going to walk forward and backward. And you can keep a little bend in your knees and your arms. In fact, it's probably better if you do that. Help you build a little strength. Checking out my peeps online. Yeah. Good. All right. And then we're going to meet back in the center of the mat. Back to your down dog. All right, Gary, you missed it, but we'll get you on the other side. Perfect timing. Okay, take a breath in, my friends. Exhale it out. And then let's inhale the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, bring the foot to the top of the mat. Frame it out with your hands, low runner's lunge. Inhale, rise up, come into a high runner's lunge. Good. Getting just a little stretch for the chest and the shoulders. Let's do some goalpost arms here. Pull the elbows back, press the chest forward. Hold it here. Nice deep breaths. Good. And then we'll bring the hands back in front of the heart. Plant your back heel down, open out, and then extend your arms long, finding your warrior two. So your right foot's at the top of the mat. Center your hips, center your ribs, looks good. Take a couple breaths here. Good, on your next inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, slide forward, reaching over that right leg and then tip over, coming into triangle pose. That might feel nice to just get a little shoulder release for that upper arm. So you can take that top arm down behind your back. Chill there for a little bit. I still would like you to bring awareness to your torso. Lengthen your tailbone slightly. Knit your front ribs in a little bit. Keep the abdominals engaged. Spine nice and long. Good. Take one more breath here. And then inhale, rise up. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring it back around to the front. So pivot around, adjust your stance, bring your hands to your hips. So your stance front to back should be a little bit shorter as we move into Parsvanasana pyramid pose. Option, you can take your hands behind your back or you can have them just walk down to the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to hinge forward. If you don't have the bind behind your back with your hands, bring your hands to the ground. Let your head hang heavy. To deepen, you can walk your hands a little bit further towards the back foot and really fold over that front leg. Notice if the front leg is bending a lot. If it is, back off and see if you can straighten it a little bit more. Use your quadriceps, the muscles on the front of your thigh. Use the strength of those quadriceps to help those hamstrings release. Good. Now, if you have your hands behind your back, inhale, lift up about halfway, and then bring your hands down onto the floor. If your hands are on the floor, have them lined up underneath your shoulders and lengthen your spine like we do for half lift. Shift your weight forward into your front leg. You can bend your knee a little bit. Walk your hands forward, take blocks with you. Lift up that left leg behind you. You can stay here or start to walk those hands back, folding over your front leg again, or your standing leg in this case, getting deeper into the standing split. Only if it's appropriate for you, or possible, let's put it that way, possible without damaging or hurting. Take a deep breath in, exhale it out, and then start to ease your way back into a low runner's lunge, back where we started. Beautiful. Plant the hands, sweep the right leg back, add a nice hip opener here. Good. And then you can take a vinyasa. You can go for a 3-point vinyasa or have Both feet, both hands down on the ground. Make your way to downward facing dog. Nice. Beautiful. All right, let's get ready for the bear crawls again. So if you missed it, Gar, we're basically staying in a down dog and walking forward a few, and then walking backward a few. Okay? So go ahead and get started when you're ready. 3 or 4, something like that. Remember, you can keep your arms and knees a little bent, but we still want to maintain the general shape of the downward facing dog. Good. Try to maintain that Hasta Bandha. All right, good. And then make your way back to the center, downward facing dog. Good. Take a deep breath in and out. Nice. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, sweep it through, bring it to the top of the mat. Start in the low runner's lunge. Get yourself established because you were just upside down for quite a while there. And then rise up, coming into that high runner's lunge. Good. Adding a heart opener, you can go ahead and do the goalpost arms if you'd like, or go ahead and go a little more traditional, interlacing the hands behind your back, drawing those shoulders back so you get that nice rinse for the front of the shoulders and the chest. And a little back bend for the upper back. One more breath here. Nice. We're going to release that out. You can bring your hands in front of your heart, opening out, making your way to warrior 2. Leveling out the hips as best as you can, watching the front knee alignment over the ankle. Let's flip not just the palms, but the entire arms up. Settle the shoulders down. If that feels good, feel free to stay there. Or if you'd like, just flip your forearms and your palms so that they're facing back down, but maintain that feeling in the shoulders, that nice, relaxed, lowered, strong position. Couple more breaths here. On your next inhale, straighten your front leg, moving into triangle pose. Reach over that left leg and hinge over. And just like on the other side, if you'd like to give that right arm a little rest, that right shoulder a little rest, drape that right arm down behind your back. Remember to keep the spine long and then check in with those front ribs, knit them in, right? Create a little rib anchor. Draw the abdominals in. Breathe. If you had that arm down behind your back, go ahead and reach it back up. And then let's inhale, lift up, and then wind it around to face the front. You can bring your hands to your hips and adjust your stance, setting up for pyramid pose. Make sure your hips are pointing straight ahead. Looks good. Take your choice of hand bind if you're going there. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge over. Feel free to use blocks under those hands if needed. Nice deep breaths. If your hands are down on the ground, you can walk them towards the back foot. Keep the hands shoulder width apart, deepening that forward fold. However, pay attention to that front leg, and if the knee is bending a lot to help your chest get to the thigh, back off a little bit and see if you can straighten that leg a little bit more. Deep breaths will help you stay with it. All right, we'll walk those hands forward. If the hands are behind your back, go ahead and lengthen that spine, lower the hands down. And And then let's walk it forward as we make our way into our standing split or standing one-legged balance. If you're working on getting that chest closer to the standing leg, also bring awareness to the lifted leg and see if you can use your glutes a little bit to get that leg up a little higher. It's also going to require your other leg's hamstrings to release more. Just another breath or two. All right, we're going to make our way back to a low runner's lunge. Walk the hands back, float that right foot down behind you. Plant your hand, sweep that left leg back, open out that hip, stretch it out. And then you can either join us in down dog or flow through to down dog, taking your vinyasa. All right, and then let's take a little water break. So you can come down to all fours. Or seated, whatever. All right, how we doing, okay? Hanging in? All right. So, we've done this one before. We're gonna meet up in down dog and then walk our hands back to our feet coming into forward fold, right? So we've done that one before. In fact, I think we did it last week, but we're gonna do it multiple times. So, make your way to downward dog. Let the head hang heavy. Root down through your heels. Lift the hips higher. Let the belly draw in. Okay? And it's really something that sort of just happens naturally. It's not a hard pull in. It's sort of just a vacuum that gets created. Okay. So if you need to come up on fingertips, you can. If you can do it with palms down, walk your hands back. Remember Hasta Bandha, right? Walk it back. Nice and easy. Let's take big toe hold, peace fingers, first two fingers in between your big toe, your second toe. Step down on the fingers, pull up with the fingers. So create the traction, the resistance, lengthen your spine as you inhale, shoulders away from the ears. Then bend your elbows, keeping them close into the legs and fold. Re-soften the belly if it got tight on you. Do what you can. If this is too intense, of a bend for you, release your big toes, place your hands on your lower legs instead. Or bend your knees a little bit or separate your feet a little bit. Lots of options here. All right. So this is your go-to. Let it go now. So essentially we're going to walk out to a plank and then walk back to forward fold. Now, if you want to stay in down dog, you can walk out to down dog. Not quite as intense, okay? Take your pick. Listen to your body. Walking it out. Getting used to walking on your hands. Getting used to creating that hand flap, that seal, that Hasta Bandha. Okay, do that just a couple more times. We're going to finish in forward fold. So walk those hands back to your legs one last time, wherever you are. We'll wait for you. We'll meet you there. Okay. And then if you like the big toe hold, go for that. Or if you want to go for full gorilla pose, each hand underneath each foot, toes up to the wrist crease. If you can straighten your legs, go ahead. If not, keep your knees bent a little bit. We'll get a nice release for those wrists. You can also grab a hold of your ankles or your lower legs, if that's better for you. But remember, you want to grip a little bit. You want to pull a little bit. That'll give you some traction, some space in your wrists. All right, let that go. and make your way to downward facing dog. So you've already been doing inversions. Forward folds and downward dogs are considered inversions. We'll prep for inversions. We're going to shorten this down dog a little bit though. So walk your feet forward about a foot or so. You may need to, bend your knees. In fact, I recommend bending the knees a little bit for this one. Okay, let the head hang heavy, trust my words. Keep your right foot on the mat and lift your left leg up for a mini down dog split. Your standing leg, bend the knee and straighten it a couple times. Just think of it as a spring, right? And then you can start to do just little baby bunny hops, keeping the split in your legs, okay? Remember when you land, your leg is like a spring. So you wanna let that knee bend a little bit, let it give, and really engage your abdominals, my friends. Try to land as quietly on that foot as you can. Good. All right. Bring your knees down to the ground, release back to a child's pose, take a break, or you can stay in all fours if that feels better, or even just come to seated for a moment, whatever works, okay? You all right over there? Oh, yeah. Got maybe a little water? All right, yes, definitely moving a lot of stuff. All right. How are we doing, okay? All right. If you need a little wrist release, come to seated or kneeling, whatever works. Bring your forearms together, interlace your fingers, and rub your forearms. So when you do that, you're getting a little figure eight action happening with your hands. So try to keep your forearms together. That makes it better. And then rub them the other way. Rub the forearms the other way. That sometimes helps. You don't have to think about what you're doing with your hands. Okay, good. All right, so we need to go the other way. So each one of us has a dominant leg that feels better pressing up and jumping, and one that feels better hanging up in the air. The side you just did, typically if you're right dominant, that's the side that felt more normal. But let's try it on the other side. It's good for our brain, it's good for our bodies, balances things out. So we're gonna come into our mini down dog again, meaning the feet are a little closer to the hands than they would normally be. Relax your head and your neck to start. Lift your right leg up. Your left leg, the one that's on the ground, the foot that's on the ground, bend and straighten it a little bit, right? Just do a little bend and straighten. Right? Just a little bend and straighten. And then you can do your hops. Now, ideally, when you start to do this, you need to look at the floor in between your hands or slightly forward. You'll start to get those hips up a little higher. Yeah. And when you land, remember your leg's a spring and your core is really engaged. Your core is engaged the whole time, but especially when you land. Good. So try a couple more unless you're tired. And then we're going to come down. Ooh, running late. Here we go. Okay, if you need water, take it. And you thought, heck, we were going to go up against the wall. We can. However, I want to give you one more option. So practicing handstand against the wall is great because you can hold it for a while and actually get some of the physical benefits of being upside down. Okay, the oxygenated blood to your head, stuff coming out of your feet, stimulating the flow of lymph, a whole bunch of cool stuff, not to mention building strength. But what happens is we get used to that. So when you start feeling like you might be ready to take the handstand off the wall, it's important that you know how to fall out. And one of the best, safest ways to fall out, if your shoulders and everything, your back is healthy, is to turn it to a cartwheel or something like a cartwheel. Okay? So there's some steps that you can take, and I want to give you this option to play for a little bit, and then we're going to wind it down. If this is not for you and you just feel like you need to do a headstand again, or a handstand, excuse me, against the wall, go for that, okay? I will give you a chance to do legs up the wall too, but not yet, okay? Unless you're ready. If you're ready, do it, Okay, but let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can enter it from the side or straight on. I'm going to go straight on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically kick up, and then I'm just going to land off to the side. Did you see that? So the dominant foot for me, the push-off foot, is right. Right, so little mini stance, kick up, and then just go. Okay. So some of you, it might be the other foot. I don't even think I can do it. Hey, that felt weird. I don't even know if that was right. Okay, so it's just coming up and then stepping off to the side. Okay, you're welcome to try it. Okay, if you like the little mini down dogs and you just want to do that, or the mini down dog splits with the little bit bunny hops, you can do that. Or you can go to the wall. I got people in here, I got people online, so I want to make sure everybody feels safe. Yeah, hold on, let me get the other. So put your right leg up. Is that how I did it? Oh my God. Well, it's after 8, and after 8, Laura's brain starts to go on. Yeah, so let me think, Gary, hold on. Yeah, that's it. So you'll go, if it's your right leg up in the air, you go to the right. If it's your left leg up in the air, you go to the left. Okay. Let me see. So you want to go back. Okay, so you actually want to land with the foot that's in the air. So you were doing that, which is okay, but you really want to try and land with the other foot. So go to the right. Yeah, something like that, but try not to switch your feet. Yes. All right, let me see and then of course you guys don't have room at home sometimes, I know. No room, Chris and Alicia, not happening? Okay. Marsha, how are you doing, okay? All right. I don't know about you guys. Look at Tiffany going. I'm sweating over here. I see Ben's got his feet up. He's smart. He's chilling. Jen, you good? All right. So if you're at home and you're feeling hot, I don't want to hear it. Because we're wearing masks. Thanks, Marianne. That's it. Yeah, it's all good. So there's another way you can go. Real quick, I want to show you with the wall. Watch. So if you can already kick up to the wall, all right. I'm going to keep one foot on the wall, get the core going, right? Take the left leg out, right? And then land, okay? Okay? That's because I've been preparing for an hour for that. Okay? That was actually pretty good, I gotta say. I got some air there. Did you see that? Yeah. So, so it's handstand. You're not right at the wall though, like you're enough away so that if you bend your leg, your foot's on the wall. You know what I mean? So a couple feet for me, something like that, right? Right, and I'm just gonna get this leg out to the side, hover, and then drop it down and go over. Be careful. All right. So if you're already on your back with your legs up in the air, you're ahead of the game. You're welcome to stay there. We're going to join you. It's time to calm down. Nice, Becky. Becky's back there doing it all. Yes. Yeah. Away from the wall. Yeah. So I think it's really a matter of repetition, right? Yeah. Keep doing it. And then the other thing is if you can stay a couple feet from the wall, use the wall, and then come off the wall. And then just practice that falling to the side thing over and over and over again. And then just start moving further away from the wall little by little. But you do need to be prepared. Okay, so we're laying on our backs. Lying on our backs, I think is the appropriate. Does anybody even care about that anymore? All right. So feet in the air, unless you've already done that and you're done with that. If you already had your feet up in the air, we're going to eventually move to just opening up the front of the hips a little bit. So if you want to come down or just stay here for another few breaths, because some of us are just getting into it. Yeah, feet up, like a waterfall pose is fine. Feel free to use a block underneath your hips. I know not everybody has a block today. Yes, you can roll your mat up. Good idea, Becky. Thank you. I know. I miss blocks. Well, we are selling them, so perhaps if you get a block, we could do some stuff on the block. All right, so feet in the air, just another couple breaths. All right, slowly start to bring your feet down. If you have a block underneath you, feel free to leave it there and extend your legs long. Block, blanket, something. If you don't, you can use your hands. You can either have your hands flat underneath your hips, or you can even make little fists, as long as it doesn't hurt your hand. And just let your legs extend long and relax. All right, relax your legs, relax your face. And take some deep breaths, but just don't worry about engaging your core anymore. Just let it go. And then slowly remove anything that you have underneath you. Bring your hips back down onto the ground, and then bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open out in Supta Baddha Konasana. Take a few more deep breaths. Inhaling, bring your knees back up together. Draw your right knee into your chest, extend your left leg long on the mat. Moving into a twist, right knee comes across over to your left. You can extend your right arm out long and relax. Inhaling, bring the leg back and switch sides. Left knee comes in, right leg goes long, and bring it across. Inhaling, come back to the center. Feel free to draw those knees into your chest one last time before making your way into your final relaxation or Shavasana. Getting yourself nice and comfy. We'll take a few minutes here. Turn this light out. Letting everything go. All the work's been done. And now it's time to rest. I'm sorry, Gary, I forgot about that. Yes, sidetracked. And we ran out of time, is really what it came down to. All right, so chill. Slowly start to deepen your breath once again. Begin to gently reawaken your body, wiggling your toes and your fingers. Gently bending your arms and your legs. Drawing your knees up to your chest. Giving yourself a hug. A little rock from side to side. And then rolling onto your side, pausing there just for another moment. And then bring yourself up to an easy seat, whatever that is for you. Coming back to where we began. Let's bring our hands together in front of our hearts. Taking one more deep breath in through the nose and exhaling it out. Thank you all so much for coming to practice with me tonight. I hope you had fun. I hope you had a good experience. So let's go ahead and seal things up with a bow and a namaste. Yay. If you still feel like a little energized, do like a crocodile pose, anything where you're like connected to the floor, forward folding in a nice gentle way is helpful. But particularly the crocodile, pressing your brow center, that area right in between your eyebrows, on your hands, face down, helps to bring your nervous system down. Okay, right, helps you to get into that rest to digest. Or just do another 5-minute Shavasana. All right, see you guys soon. Have a great night. Let me know if you have any questions or anything.
Thank you. That was fun.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night. Good night. Sleep tight.